Hi, Apartment Therapy. Welcome to my 700 square foot apartment in the West Village. I used to live in Paris for 4 years and loved my time and experience there, and I wanted to bring a piece of Paris back with me to the United States. So when I was going to renovate this apartment, I knew that's the aesthetic that I wanted to bring in, but I wanted to make it resourceful and efficient. So a lot of things that you see in terms of storage and appliances that we picked out and the layout of the apartment is very New York. So right when you walk in through the front door, you enter into the entire living space. This is a duplex apartment in New York. Duplex means that it's on 2 separate floors. So on this first floor, when you enter, is the kitchen and the living room. But when you go downstairs into the basement, you have my bedroom, dressing room, and bathroom. So right when you walk in, you enter to the kitchen. Before, there used to be a wall that blocked it off, and during the renovation, we knocked it down and opened everything up. The blue color that you see on the cabinets were custom made and matched to a hotel that I saw in Paris. We added little details into the cabinets, like you'll see on the gray cabinets on the uppers, there's a little bit of brass that surrounds the whole thing, and it's unlacquered brass, so that'll patina over time, which is really lovely. I also knew that this was going to open up to the entire living room, so I wanted the design of the kitchen to feel like another room in the house. That's why I incorporated art in the kitchen to make it all flow together. This kitchen island is very special to me. The base came from Pottery Barn, but we fabricated this piece of marble on top. So I went to Brooklyn, went to a marble yard, and picked out a remnant piece. I wanted to choose this specific slab with the pink in it because it complemented my kitchen cabinet so well. You'll also see within it, there's really heavy veining that pulls out the blues in the cabinets and really just matches and harmonizes the entire kitchen design. So we chose Miele appliances for the cooktop and the oven, but the oven is also a microwave. Technology now is just so great that you can have both in one. This is where you'll find the New York resourcefulness. I really wanted a wine fridge, and my architect probably found the smallest wine fridge that exists. It's right here, and it can hold 7 bottles, 1 for every day of the week. A friend had given me a book on Paris, and I was looking through it and saw this tile, and I said to myself, that's perfect. When you have a direction and design to go towards, it makes it so much easier to pull down the options that you have. One way I just elevated my everyday life was to put my water into this glass beverage dispenser. It's an extra step for sure. I filter my water in my Brita and then I pour it into this to drink my water, but I am willing to go that extra step to just have that little bit of luxury in my everyday life. What was really cool about this little nook and area was that it was completely covered by a closet. So when we opened up the closet and we saw that there was this beautiful curve in the wall, we wanted to expose it. And the way that I designed it afterwards was to add a lamp with height so that you can take advantage of the entire niche. This is where I drop my keys. And then I have this statue of David. My recommendation is when you put things together, do it in sets of 3s and it really feels harmonious together. Right next to the kitchen is the living room, and it's all one open space. What we did over here during the renovation was put up all of the moldings that you see to bring in that Parisian aesthetic and French charm. Even the fireplace was completely redone, and then I added in a lot of furniture pieces to just pull it all together. It was so difficult to find a bar cart that matched my Parisian aesthetic. So I searched high and low and finally found this vintage bar cart from a vendor in Germany on Etsy. I had drinks with a friend for a very special occasion at the Baccarat Hotel, and they served the cocktails in this glass that is extremely beautiful, and I was obsessed and had to have them. But when I looked up the price, they were $250 each. So I went on to an auction website. The one that I like to use is liveauctioneers.com, and found that someone was auctioning off these glasses. So I bought a set of them for a fraction of the price. I sourced the Mario Bellini reproduction sofa first before anything else in this living room. I knew that I loved this piece and I always wanted it. It's super low, so it makes the ceiling feel even higher. And then I found this tapestry on First Dibs. And I know a lot of people think First Dibs is really expensive with antiques, but you can message with the seller and negotiate the price and send them an offer and see what happens. You never know. This sofa is super low, so you have to find the right height of a coffee table to match it, or else it might be super awkward if you have something really high. When I measure out a product, I usually try and tape it down with blue tape or use the tape measure and get it to that height and sit with it for a little bit to visualize what that looks like, because what you think 12 inches may not fit exactly as you expect once you get it into your home. I have to work from home every once in a while, like most of us do, and so I wanted a furniture piece that could be multifunctional. It could hold some decor, it could be a place where I work, and it could be storage, and this secretary desk was the perfect find. So when I work from home, I can pull down this section and it becomes my desk. I found somebody on Instagram who custom colored it for me to match the kitchen cabinets. And the wallpaper in the background was something that I got at a sample sale that she put in for me too. On this side is where you have the windows and all the light pours in. So I really wanted to keep this area in the living room light and airy. The way I did that was with the paint color. The wall color is called Benjamin Moore White Linen. And the way I would describe it is I wanted a piece of parchment paper, something white but has aged over time. This was built out so that we could hide what's behind these two screens. So on this side is my AC unit, and on this side is my radiator. I have a lot of junk like most of us do, and the one way that I hide it is behind art. So this is hanging up on the shelf via command strips, and all of the junk I want to hide, all my wires and cables and modem are right here. I really wanted that old world architectural detail that you find in Haussmannian Parisian homes, and so we found this oversized medallion to put up on the ceiling. And because that already looks super traditional, I wanted to pick out a modern light fixture to juxtapose the traditional moldings inside the living room. I printed some custom matchbooks that say ChezVu on them. The ChezVu is really important to me because it is my mom's last name and her side of the family that essentially raised me, that I'm very close to. And ChezVu, V-O-U-S in French, means your house. So in a way, my account is really from my home to yours. This is the very first piece of art I ever commissioned from Michael Mapes, and it is a mosaic of Marie Antoinette. The reason why I chose Marie Antoinette was because when I moved into this apartment, I had a housewarming party and it was Marie Antoinette themed, and all of my friends dressed up in that garb and era. What's really great about a commissioned piece is you can ask the artist to incorporate things that are important to you. So if you look closely, you can see inside there's a photo of me and my mom and my grandparents. So let's head downstairs. So this is a duplex, and now we are downstairs in the basement level where you have my bedroom and my bathroom. So this is my cozy, feminine bedroom that I really wanted to just feel tranquil and rest at the end of the day. I'm not a kind of person that hangs out in my bedroom, so the fact that it was down in the basement was totally fine for me. There are windows right behind these curtains that may feel really awkward when you have a set of windows and you don't want to put your bed in front of it. But in order to make it feel more like a wall, I put up these curtains all the way to the ceiling and from wall to almost give that sense of it anchoring on a wall itself. The color scheme down here is very calming and soothing, but in order for it not to feel really flat, I added in a bunch of different textures in the same tonality. So you'll have boucle in the ottoman, for example, velvet with the curtains, and cotton with the bedding, and that just adds a lot more depth when you're playing in the same color palette. I hate the look of a dresser. So this is actually a sideboard that is meant to be in your dining room. I don't follow rules when it comes to where furniture is supposed to be placed, so use whatever you want and the aesthetic that you want to have. For me, it gives it more longevity so that I can use it in the future in a living space if I wanted to. This art was another commissioned piece. I worked with an artist in Brooklyn named Camille Hunt, and it's me. We painted my body, I printed myself on the paper, and then she finessed the entire thing. And I just really wanted to commemorate where I am in life and really finally feeling good in my own skin with this piece of work. This is the spot where I house all of my shoes. This was a very narrow closet space that we had. And so with my architect, we decided to do shelves, and I knew I had a lot of shoes, and this was the perfect place to showcase them, but also store them. Again, in New York City, you have to be really resourceful and you always need storage. So we decided to add a door underneath and utilize all of that space for storage. So I've been working in the beauty industry for over 15 years, always in branding and marketing. I was with L'Oreal for a really long time, and they were the ones who actually moved me to France to live there for 4 years. I loved makeup and skincare. And so for me, the routine of getting ready in the morning, I really wanted to get dedicated space to that. So we built out, again, this little niche where I can sit and do my makeup in the morning. And this mirror lights up and is backlit, but also was intended to be in a bathroom. Instead, I put it out in my living space and I can dim it, and it's great for doing my makeup in the mornings. And a really special thing that I have next to me that I see every morning is a letter from my friend who passed in 2021. He was my best friend, and he writes really encouraging words. So your decor items can even just be sentimental things that you put up and frame. Welcome to the dressing room. This entire space is painted in pink, specifically Farrow & Ball's setting plaster. And that's because this is where I get dressed, take a lot of selfies, and pink adds a beautiful glow to the ambiance and your photos. And it also just makes me really happy. The thing that we did with my contractor and my architect was integrate lights into the wall so that you get that forward-facing light that looks really beautiful. Again, when you take pictures and you can see your outfit and it's like true light. This is the only clothing closet that I have inside the entire apartment. Of course, it is like stuffed to the brim, as you would expect any girl's closet to be. This is my fragrance collection that I've collected over 15 years of working in the beauty industry. And it just reminds me of the journey, the different brands that I've worked on, and my time in the beauty industry. As you can see in the bathroom, it is a floral explosion. We chose vinyl wallpaper because that's supposed to be more durable against moisture, as it's going to be in a bathroom setting. The light fixtures were just installed, and they were custom made with me and Maison by Max. And honestly, I feel like it's the jewelry to the bathroom and just finishes everything off. One of my biggest reno regrets is putting black flooring in my bathroom. Black flooring just shows everything. I clean up my bathroom floor, wipe it down, and within 2 days, you'll start seeing dust collect. The do's and don'ts of renovating an apartment. Do live in your space for a little while if you can. Even though I renovated my entire place before I moved in, I lived in it for 2 years, and that's when I decided to redecorate and repaint it, and it's what you see now. After living here and feeling the apartment and how I used it, I really understood where I wanted to place my furniture and what kind of colors really brought joy to me. And so if you can, try and live in a place before you renovate. The don'ts of renovating. Do not think just about resale. The 2 things in my apartment that make me the happiest are the kitchen cabinet colors, which is a very bold choice, and the bathroom wallpaper. I did those things for me and not thinking about, oh my gosh, it's gonna be so polarizing if I ever were to resell my apartment, because I'm the one who's gonna be living here and I'm gonna be the one experiencing it every single day. So I wanted to do those things to make me happy. Your home is another expression of who you are and your story. So when people come over, they ask me questions, and it's an opportunity for me to tell my story. And it brings those who are here and guests and friends and family even deeper into my life, because I can tell them the story behind every single piece in this place.